Well, welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch, and we're back here for a new season of guests here at the Big Condo. And I'm here with an interesting guest that I thought you would be interested in hearing from, as I'm interested in hearing what she has to say. So I'd like to introduce my guest, Billie Palin. How you doing, Billie?
I'm not bad, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I mean, it's like, it's kind of cool. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so Billie, you coming here representing the Big Trust.
Yep.
And everything, and a little bit nervous, but it's all good, because basically I think that with the work that the Big Trust does is amazing. It's a charity and everything, and you're the operations manager.
That's
am I
right.
understand?
Yeah.
So can you let the audience know what is the Big Trust, what their ethos and what they're all about?
So we work with disadvantaged children and young people from Liverpool. The Liverpool City region. So it could be the disadvantage from, they could have disabilities, could be crime, drugs, poverty, and we work with them to try and raise their aspirations to get them into either employment or training, like college or apprenticeships and things like that, to prevent them from, just not really like going down the wrong path, and they may be ending up in prison instead. Mm-hmm. So we try and put them on the right path, if you like, to a career, and show them different opportunities in different industries that they may not have necessarily thought of, but it could be that it's piqued something in the brain and it gets an interest for them.
Now, what's good about your organization is that you mentioned PATH. It's like you guys have this project you call Pathways to Employment.
Yeah.
And like I believe you said you're in your third season. I love it when people use TV terms. Well, actually, probably you're going into your fourth season now, aren't you? Because you've been doing it for about 3 years.
3
would you
years,
say?
yeah.
But what's great is that what you guys do is, you go out to meet these young people, like where they are, like in their schools, as opposed to them coming to you or going to like a networking event. You know how when you go to those events and you walk around and everybody's got these, tall banners and stuff like that. Hey, come over here. Hey, I'm nice. I'm friendly. What do I got to do? Do I have to dance for you? Whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah.
By entering their realm, like how is that, in the experience for them, do you think, as I feel when they're doing it?
I think it's a lot better. We've done obviously a few rounds of Pathways, but on one event that we worked with the LFC Foundation, we had mixed it up a bit. So we hired a venue and got the businesses to come to the venue and got the schools to come out to the venue rather than us going into the school. And I think going into the schools had a much larger impact with the students, because when we brought the students off site into the venue, that was more the kids were like in the groups of their friendships, and it was a bit more of I'm on a day out, and we don't feel like we had as much impact, whereas going into the schools, talking to them and not being a teacher, you can have a natural conversation with them. They open up a lot more, and you get a lot more from it, I found anyway.
Yeah, I would have to agree, because actually, we were actually asked to participate in this project and everything, and we went to 1 or 2 schools and stuff, and it does give them different voices. Can you imagine me going into a class, Phil? My American accent and everything. I'm going, hey, let me tell you guys about media.
I've been there.
Okay, thanks, Phil. But and it's been exciting, right? But it's
off the scale.
Yeah, no, but okay. Yeah, I love them. But the thing about it is that for them to hear my experience, you know, or of what I do as far as like media, filmmaking, and podcasts and that kind of stuff. You know, you had I think you had people that were involved in the culinary or cooking industry. You had people that were involved in various different types of job opportunities where I know that if I'm a kid sitting in the class and somebody asks me what do I want to do, I'm going to say I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but then when I get a choice of different people coming in, that's what I think has really been invaluable, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm going to ask a little bit more about that later. But what I want to get to is that there's a new thing that you guys got going on, which I think is kind of interesting. That'll probably be more interesting to our audience and everything. Is that one of the sponsors or the people that you're working with?
Yeah.
You know, is starting a new initiative.
That's right.
Now, this new initiative is about to break boundaries, so or conceptions.
Yeah.
You know, so tell us what this new initiative is.
So it's a program that we're running in partnership with Frank Rogers Building Construction firm. And it's focused on getting more women into construction. So I think the average is around 14% of business construction companies have women in them. So our program with Frank Rogers is aiming at young girls to try and get them into the construction industry, show them a lot of, it's not just building, you don't have to, as you say, you don't have to put just a high vis on and a hard hat.
That's what it all is, you know. I mean, I've been to those networking events where it's just hey, you want to wear a high vis jacket, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's so many different roles in that industry. So Rachel, the girl that we work with, she is the social value manager. She comes out to the schools when we're doing our programs and things like that. That's how we know her. But she's brilliant. So you know, there'll be social media. There's HR. You know, there's a load of different avenues in the industry. That's not necessarily you've got to wear boots and a high vis. You can go and do something else. There's a lot of at the minute focused on social media aspects as well. So you know, there can be a job role just doing social media.
Oh, so you mean just kind of working in the office or something like that and everything. So
yeah, so we're excited. I'm excited to start that. We're just nailing down a couple of things with the schools and the timetables and things like that. But
now what's interesting is that because you usually do a lot of work in FE schools, don't you?
Yeah.
But for this particular project, you have a lot of interest in colleges.
Colleges as well, yeah. We've had Liverpool City College and Hugh Bird College reach out to us as well, because they find
now Hugh Bird is usually the one that's just for beauty and makeup and everything, where a lot of young women say, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to do. Yeah. But now you got them saying, no, I want to put a hard hat on.
That's it, yeah. And then so we actually done a tour of Hugh Bird a couple of months ago, me and Hannah. And it took us in. Me and Hannah both used to go to Hugh Bird when we left school.
Oh, really?
So they took us on a tour, and it's so much different than it was when we were there. There's a whole construction building, and it's
really. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's massive. They've got a whole area just for woodwork, and then there's plumbing, electrics, and it's all.
What about bricklaying, though? I mean, you know, 'cause that actually looks like a fun job.
I think I could do it, but you know, but it's brilliant. Yeah, so they've reached out to us to say that they have a lot of girls, a lot of females on a construction course, but they are struggling to get them into apprenticeships or work experience and things like that. So they've reached out to us as well to ask, for our support.
You know, I mean, but that's interesting to me, actually, because, when you talk about it as a construction course that they have to deliver, do they do actually, brick?
Yeah.
Brick, and then stack them and all that?
Yeah.
I mean, in class, But they probably don't do any scaffolding.
No, honestly, they do. You should.
Really?
Yeah, you should get in touch with them and see if you can do a tour.
No, I'm afraid of heights, man.
There was, they have like a plumbing area, and it's
really,
you can literally, they've got like taps attached to walls, and you have to put it all together. And the same with electrics, they've got like electric boxes, and you have to do like the whatever you do with
See, I think a person who's kinesthetic would really enjoy something like that, because it's like, you know, obviously these are things we see every day in our houses and the homes and all that kind of stuff. But to actually see the behind the scenes, or to learn how that they all come together and everything, that is mad.
Yeah, it was really impressive, because it definitely wasn't like that when I went there. So.
Now I happen to know a little something, because I usually, you know, at this point I usually ask people what their origin story is.
Yeah.
So I think I know why you're a little bit fascinated about all these pipes and drilling and stuff. Can you tell me like a little bit about your origin story?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a mechanic. My dad is a mechanic. I wanted to be a mechanic, but my dad was dead against it, because he didn't want me going out to breakdowns in the middle of the night.
Now you don't just have to drive the tow truck, Dad.
No. Yeah, so I didn't do it. I actually went to Hugh Bird College and trained to be a chef. So I started a course, but then got an apprenticeship through the course. So I was actually a trained chef, and my old head chef is one of the businesses that come into our to the schools for the programs. So he supports us as well, which is nice, because I've not seen him for years. So when we do get to catch up in work and stuff, it's nice. Yeah.
I think that's what's really good about local businesses, isn't it? You know, I mean, like, because I think that's what I like about this program is that, you know, people eventually grow up and they do things and stuff. So you eventually encounter someone from your past and your present, you know, which was, you know, the future back then. And so, like, to reacquaint like that, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
you know? But also too is, what brought you to the Big Trust?
So I used to work for BT in town, and me and Hannah have been friends for years, so Hannah took over the Big Trust. She was there for a while, and then obviously she got a lot of business and a lot of work come from it, so she needed somebody to do a bit more of behind the scenes, because Hannah at the beginning used to do a lot of the delivery in the schools, so to do the planning and the operations and social media and everything was all just a bit much. So there was a job there for an operations manager, and she said, I think you'd be good, because I'm quite good at planning and things like that. So had a interview application and got the job. Yeah, and we work really well together, considering we've known each other for over 20 years.
Went to school together.
We work quite well together.
Well, you know, I mean, like, it's just very interesting, you know, to do all of that. But now, unfortunately, as we've been talking or waxing about the 3 seasons of the Big Trust, or the pathways to employment. You know, as what usually happens in television, you know, when you get to that 3rd season, you know, you wonder, are we going to get a 4th?
Yeah.
And basically, at this point in time is where you're making your plea. As a charity, you're not funded for the next pilot.
Not at the moment. We have got a lot of bids in at the moment that we're waiting on to hear back from. So there's a couple of programmes that Liverpool City Council will fund, and that's who funded our Pathways programme the previous few years. So we're just waiting back to hear on them. But see, we've got our main programmes, but we can also create different programmes as well. So we've had a few schools reach out to us that may have slightly different interests, but
well, what do you mean? Oh, you can't tell us about that.
No, so it's a lot of them can be quite similar to Pathways, but they might have specific needs
targets
and things like that. So we can also create a programme tailored to the school, to the college, to the business.
Of course.
So we can also do that, and then obviously any funding is brilliant, because the more funding we get, the more work we can do and carry on doing the work that we do, which is it's great. We get a brilliant feedback from any of the programs. So.
And reason why we're also saying like a program such as this should continue moving on is because I was asking you about, do you happen to know of any particular success stories?
Yeah, so we've got, there was a couple, we've got a few. There was a young boy in one of the schools in the second round, and he was very much construction. So we brought in a couple of different construction firms, because one of the construction firms we work with is called Graham's. I don't know if you know, that's it's a massive national company. We have quite a good relationship with them, so they work with us quite a bit. And then there's Height and Asphalt, Frank Rogers. Obviously, there's a lot of different businesses that we work with, and we got this boy a work experience placement in one of the businesses. And he loved it, and we got brilliant feedback from the business as well. And they then offered him, he said obviously when he left school they would give him a job, a paid employment. So he had that ready for when he left school as well, to go into paid employment and do an apprenticeship with them then.
Wow.
Yeah.
And but basically, that's the whole kind of thing is that you're taking somebody from not knowing what they want to do,
yeah,
to offer them, hand to hand, one to one, even sometimes, communication, and then, they were offered work experience, which turns paid experience,
yeah,
and stuff, and and that's all you can really ask for, isn't it? Is that opportunity and everything else like that. Speaking about opportunities, I think you said you had another program that you guys are running.
Yeah, so at the minute we are just waiting on some contracts and things going through, but we'll be working with ex-offenders in Liverpool, so it could be a number of different offences, but along the same lines as well, trying to get them into training or employment, which I think will be more difficult than what we've done in the past, because obviously that's a major barrier. A lot of people may or may not want to employ them, may not want to give them the choice to do that, but at least
you're offering them like a chance, a skill set to at least break that barrier. As opposed to like, well, I got no skills, I got no opportunities, I got no dreams. Yeah.
So it's good. It's definitely rewarding, and we get brilliant feedback from it as well. So yeah.
Well, usually like I would be asking people, kind of like, do they have any thing coming up that they like to promote? And like at this point in time, I think you were saying like these new projects obviously is what you're looking at. I think that it'd be great, if anybody's watching, if there are a young woman who wants to go into construction. You guys are just only now in the recruitment stage.
That's right.
So it hasn't started yet, so that means you're still looking.
Yeah.
And you're not just looking for like 10, you're looking for, a multitude of people to support, aren't you?
Yeah.
When it comes to that, and I just think that's fantastic. But I just thought it was really interesting, like when you said that you did have like what would you call it, like a networking event or a party or whatever? But it was
like a fundraising event.
Event, but it was at the Titanic. And like, what was it, last year?
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
It was like a strictly dance event. So there was different businesses, and there would be a dancer and from each business, and then they would get sponsorships for it and do a real event.
Phil, could you imagine me at this Strictly Dancing event?
I've seen you do karaoke. It's terrible.
Wait a minute, hold on. But you haven't seen me dance though, Phil. You haven't seen me, like do my electric Elvis or anything like that,
It fills me with trepidation, to be honest with you.
All right, don't invite Chase to the party is what Phil is trying to say. But I think you should, because you will have a good laugh. So either way you look at it, is Billy, I just want to thank you for coming in and everything. Hopefully you overcome those nerves and you realize that, the Big Trust is definitely one of those operations or charities that are out there that are supporting young people. And then what I like is in their ethos is that they're supporting all types, from disadvantage to SEN and disabilities and stuff like that. So we need organizations like this to continue and everything like that. It's not like you're hurting or anything like that, but it's just always good to keep that support and let people know that, that you're out there. So I want to thank you very much for coming on to this program.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, hey, it's all good, and like I said, if you want to find out more about the Big Trust, it's the Big Trust on all socials, isn't it?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook.
Well, I think there was an underscore in there, though.
Yeah.
So why don't you just spell it out so Phil can write it down on the thing?
Yeah, it's the _big_trust. That's it, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X as well.
All right, we don't go to X. But no, that's all good and everything like that. So if you want to find out more about the Big Trust, please, reach out, because I think, as Billy said, she's one of those secret people behind the walls that are like reading your emails. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so like I said, I want to thank Billie Palin for coming in. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch. Please like and subscribe and everything. Always, hey man, feel free to make a comment. I like to hear from more than just Phil. You know what I mean? Because I think I would love to see Chase dance.
I agree.
Thank you, Billy.
I would.
You don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what I'm saying. This is going to get me some views. All right, so for now we out here, and I'm dancing myself out.